Unless it's not. Unless a lot of it is white supremacy and then y'all just got a comedic group. So the call on people is to become, not to join a black supremacist group, not to be part of a black supremacist organization, but to become an awakened black supremacist. That is the real call on people here. Become a black supremacist. Because that is a danger. If it's a job, you can fire me. Right? If it's an organization that's based on funding, we can lose funding and we have to close the organization down, right? If it's a group, if there's no people there, then it's nothing. But if you have become a self-realized black supremacist, it is not contingent upon anything. It is an enduring position. It is stable. It's consistent. We can already determine the future of it. We know where it's going. Where else do you go with black supremacy? Where else does it end up? What else can a black supremacist do? So becoming a black supremacist is not joining an organization, but making a commitment and a choice to center yourself into a centralized meditation on black supreme consciousness. That will begin to color your actions. That will begin to be the point of which you act from. And it'll be perfect. It's like the children that are born geniuses. They arrive at these mathematical calculations quickly because they are geniuses. They are not mathematicians. They're not math students. They're geniuses. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you become a black supremacist in consciousness and meditation, then you arrive at these solutions quickly. Do you hear what I'm saying? You automatically get to the black supremacist solution quickly. Because that's where your mind is. That's where your mind is. And a person who's not a black supremacist got to sit down at a panel. They got to go to some type of conference and get some type of a class, right? To try to get this information. Because their mind is not there. But the genius, he already added up the numbers while you're giving them to him. And he got the end. His mind has already added up the equations while you spitting out the problem. That's what the black supremacist is. As soon as you throw the problem at the black supremacist, the black supreme mind eats it up quickly. It comes up with a solution. The person without the black supreme mind is confused. You understand what I'm saying? Bewildered. Dumbfounded. How do we solve the conditions of black people? By first being in the condition of black people and not a white man looking at the conditions of black people. Because that's what our social activists are. They're black people with white minds looking at black problems. If you're in the black problem, you can solve it easy. You're in it. How does Obama fix the issue of poverty and homelessness in our community? Well, let him go be homeless in our community and see how fast he solves it. Right? He'll come up with an answer quick. Because he's very smart, Obama is. So we get his black supreme mind activated and step into the complete position of being a black supremacist, he'll figure it out. But he can't figure out the issue of homelessness when he has such a beautiful home like the White House. Hell, is not even a real problem for him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he has a white mind trying to solve black problems. A black supremacist is a black supreme mind solving black problems. Easily and effortlessly. Because it is totally committed. It is totally giving itself to the endeavor. There's not even another thought. That's why it's so hard for black people to solve their problems. Because they got too many other damn thoughts. I work 9 to 5 and then how do we solve the problems in our community? Okay, spend more time in the community. Simple, isn't it? Problems with our youth. Spend more time with the youth. But you a white supremacist, 9 to 5. and you're trying to solve the problems of these indigenous people that you see when you're off from work or when you're passing through the community, right? Every now and then you pass the natives and say, well, damn, look at that. You are a white supremacist. That's the problem. So we have become white supremacists mentally, and we're going to solve black problems. It's not going to happen. And many of us that even think that we have a black mind, and we don't. We have black information. Difference. We think we have a black mind, and we think we're going to solve the problems. And we don't solve them. Because we just got black information. We don't solve them. We just use white supremacist thinking and feel smarter about knowing what the problems are. We feel intelligent and being able to articulate what the problems are, right? The statistics. And we feel very smart and learned. How the hell are you going to be learned and you can't solve it? How fucking learned are you? You read all the books before Columbus, The Destruction of Civilization, all of Sheikh Anta Diop's, Dr. Ben, Naeem Akbar, but you can't solve a goddamn problem. How learned are you? You will be an eternal student. You will never learn the answer. Why? Because you are a white, black intellectual. Do you hear me? You are a white, black intellectual. That's the problem. Black supremacy makes you go beyond your intellect and throw it out. If you keep adding up the white supremacy, get rid of it. Even if it makes sense. Because slavery made sense to every nigga on the plantation. It made sense for a long time. Well, he is master. Right? It made logical sense. It was very, very logical. And very rational. And biblical. And theological. So black supremacy would not have made sense to people on the plantation. Even Frederick Douglass. Well, I'm a black, you talk to Fred about it. I'm a black supremacist. I don't know. He would have some questions about that. So this is the evolution of consciousness of our people. But my point is that slavery was logical. So when you get a black supreme mind, then you have to even throw out the white supremacy that makes sense. Uh-oh, going in. Yes, the white supremacy makes a lot of sense. That's why we've been doing it for 400 years. You won't get an argument from me there. But even the sense of that must be thrown out. You understand? Give me an example. We have become so intellectual and so good problem solvers that we can't solve any problems. That's how deep we have become. So scholarly that we can't solve one damn problem. And people come among us, great knowledge, very much great experience in white institutions, and say, well, look, I see how y'all doing it, and you all should do it that way, and this seems more logical, and I learned this in a white man's institution, and the institutionalized way of doing things are like this, that, and the other. They'll say this. And a white man could come with the same position. Should we take his advice? If a white man come here and say, and it's never going to happen, because if he come here, he ain't going to leave. But hypothetically speaking, if a white man walked in this door and said, you know what, guys? You guys should do it like this. And this is better. You know, I'm let's give him a real good position. Not a health inspector. Let's give him. I'm a biochemist, because people like that. I'm a biochemist, and I've been looking at this thing for a long time, and I think you guys should do this. And we say, get the fuck out.
Chop his hand off.
Some Negroes will get mad. But wait, he has good information. He's getting solutions. And Noble, how you have been doing it, it's not working. You know? Where are we going with all of this? He has some good fucking ideas. You watch. They said, let him come in. We need to hear what he got to say. You know, shut up, Noble. Let's hear what the biochemist is saying. We want to know about sustainable living. He's going to tell us how we can turn the cooking oil in our kitchen into fuel and run our vehicles. We got to hear this one, Noble. He is the zeitgeist. What? He is the zeitgeist. This is Alex Jones. That's him. Right? So we say, no, just get the fuck out. And then we see why certain parts of Africa were not colonialized today. If we look at certain parts of Mali and just certain parts of the Congos, they weren't colonized because they just weren't dealing with no white man whatsoever, no matter how smart he was. And his smarts was irrelevant to how we revered ourselves. Right? His smarts didn't mean nothing. I'm going in now. Because the African American value the white man's smarts more than any person on the world. Do you hear me? We value his smarts and his intellect. But the tribes that didn't are the ones that are less colonialized in Africa. And still got their kingdoms. And still got their independence. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. And weren't totally colonialized. Because they had reverence for who they are and what they were. Your smarts and intelligence can never outweigh your reverence. Right? Because a white man can walk in here that is very intelligent. With a lot of ideas. Should we revere him for his intelligence? Should we give him a position and make him a leader because he can point the way? This is what I'm saying. What about a black man with a white mind? Let me show you a black man with a white mind, or a black woman with a white mind. One who reveres intelligence more than black supremacy or black divinity. I just hit somebody's intelligence that way. I know it. I just hit your intelligence now. Case in point. They revere intelligence or being intelligent. And that's why we have the knowledge contests where nobody reveres or respects anyone and everybody's more deeper and intelligent than everyone. Because intelligence is more important than revering ourselves. And we'll be reading a deep book while our brothers and sisters are getting their heads cut off and say, well, I know I'm smarter than them now because they're not alive. Do you hear me? Thus missing the point. I'm glad they killed that nigger because now I'm the deepest. Do you see what I'm saying? Not knowing that you're next on the list. Because of the lack of reverence for ourselves. And the reverence for who we are and what we have. Reverence is greater than intelligence. Haile Selassie sent a lot of the Ethiopians off to Europe to school. They came back with socialism and Marxism and overthrew the government and killed him. Because they became more intelligent and smarter and wider and righter. They lost